All right, we are live. Stacy's happy today, Stacy. So
Why is Stacey happy?
she's laughing. She's having a good time.
Because
Carson's
it's
team.
Tuesday and we got a couple inches of snow and no one's home but me and the dog, so it's kind of nice.
That probably is rare.
Lately.
Carson's team, Remax results, another live show. What's happening in Minnesota real estate, episode 18. And Michelle's wearing glasses. So that's good. When did you get those, Michelle?
They're just the screen thingy, so your eyes don't hurt as much.
The blue light?
Mm-hmm.
Do they work?
I don't know. Sometimes I get a headache if I don't wear them, so I think my eyes got used to wearing them.
Sounds good. So reminder, if you're joining us, you can always ask any questions, comments on real estate. What I said when I posted this, that we're having a show today, we've been doing the random shows all the time. Real estate's, one of those that things can change quickly. We started doing these in the evening back during the quarantine days of April of last year. And now I try to get quotations, but I got to get closer to my face on my screen here. Anyway, obviously, some people listen to the recording of the Real Life Impact podcast show. We've got it on a few Facebook pages. Stacy, if you haven't shared it to your page, make sure you do so now.
Yes.
So, you already did it.
Stacy.
Michelle normally does it first 2 minutes of the show, and then we get feedback in the background. So she's not doing that this time. We'll see. She's learned.
Already did it right.
It's only took her 18 shows, and she's learned.
Share. I'm doing it now.
Sounds good. So obviously, it's been a year since, just over a year since, I would say, Minnesota went into its shutdown protocols. The COVID-19 situation hit. I remember March 12th going to, last time I scheduled or planned to go to a closing. Now, some realtors do go to their closings now. There was a while where they're like, no, don't go. Then they're like, you could go. And then they were like, no, don't go again. And just with sellers pre-signing, buyers, signing at closing with their agent if we've got a listing. I haven't been in person to many showings. So one of the things, this is a preview, one of the things we're going to talk about.
You haven't been in person to many showings, you said?
I said showings. Okay, many closings. One of the things we're going to talk about, what is different from that 1 year ago, a little over 1 year ago to now? What are we doing different? What do we see staying the same? What do we see changing? So that'll be one of the topics we covered today. Also, we'll cover a couple statistics I want to share on what's happening since then, like in home ownership. And then last time we had that question game, I didn't prepare the question game, guys.
Why not? You always said you will.
I didn't always say it will. I said we'd try it last time, and
it was kind of fun. I thought it was fun.
It's happening again.
You did it again. You shared it with noise. Oh boy. Well, okay. Anyway, so Stacy, so one thing we completed, and I'm going to talk to Stacy about this. We talked about it maybe a little bit last time. My wife and I completed 75 hard. She was really doing it. She was logging the photos and doing the thing on the app. I was just making sure she'd do it by doing it with her and helping her. Because if I didn't do it, she would have never completed it. So
how do you know?
I know for sure. Stacy, how are you doing with the 75 hard? And remind people what it is.
Good. I'm on day 51. So 75 hard was created by, and I think it's Andy, and I don't remember his last name. I haven't officially read the book that he's written. It's a mental and physical challenge that you do with yourself. So it's for 75 days straight. It's you have to do a certain amount of things. So you have to take a profile picture, no cheat meals, no alcohol, follow some sort of diet. Like there's not a specific diet you have to follow. You just do what is right for you and your body. You have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day. And one of them needs to be done outside and read 10 pages every day. And drink a gallon of water every day. So I am currently on day 51 of my 75. So 24 more days. And I don't know, I guess quite honestly, I kind of figure I'll just kind of stick with the same kind of routine afterwards. I don't know. We'll kind of see. I'm going out of town, so maybe some nice couple glasses of wine or some cocktails on the beach would be nice at the end of this, but we'll kind of see what's going on. I'm still going to be training for triathlons after. I mean, I've been training for them since the beginning of March, so that'll continue. And I know you want to try and stick with pretty much a clean diet while training. I don't know, personally for me, and maybe Chuck, you can piggyback off this. I just sleep so much better when I eat clean and I eat better. If I eat junky food, I'll wake up in the middle of the night. Now I just kind of sleep through the night. So yeah, it's been fun. I mean, fun maybe is the wrong word. It's been a challenge. It's a mental challenge, especially when it's been really cold outside and you don't want to go outside and do your workouts, but bundle up and go.
Yeah. So I'm still reading every day. I'm still, I work out every day, but the 45 inside and outside, I haven't done like the 45 outside. I might play 25 minutes or so outside with Luca shooting hoops, those kind of things. But that's the only thing I've changed. Otherwise, I haven't had a sip of alcohol. I'm still reading, still working out at least 45 minutes inside. And I wanted to keep most of the same routine.
Yeah.
I think the good thing about it, I built that space into my life with the 45 here and 45 there. You just have it. It's like almost like extra time. Last night was the first time all year. It's since when we did it, we started late December, a couple days after Christmas. First time all year, I looked at my Fitbit. I'm like, oh, I got 6,200 steps. It's like 8 o'clock. So I got on our treadmill and I just walked and watched the NCAA basketball preview since I don't know much about that anymore. I used to be really into it. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll watch this and walk. And so I got my 10,000 steps. And the first time all year that I literally had to physically do something late at night to get my 10,000 steps in. So that was the only change because I'm not doing an outside walk or skiing where I get steps in. So
it would have been a good day to ski since we got that snow. I don't know how much snow you guys got up by you, but
I'm looking outside now. I'm actually doing the first time I've done this show from home. There's a little bit of snow. The problem is I always skied on our lake, and I don't know if I want to go on.
Oh,
the
none of that.
No, it's been too warm. I wouldn't go on the lake. I would agree.
I don't see anybody else out there. So
yeah,
I think I'll stay safe.
Yep, I'd recommend that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I got an Apple Watch, and so I want to. Every time I'm like, oh man, my rings haven't closed yet. So for Apple Watches, you have an exercise ring, a standing ring, and then like a movement ring. And my goal every day is to get all those rings closed. You can kind of set like how much exercise and activity and standing time you want on it, but I kind of 12 hours a day I need to be standing, so just kind of movement. I mean, that's pretty typical that you get that anyways, but the movement and the exercise, I generally get them closed just because of the 2 45-minute workouts and stuff. But I know I'm like, oh shoot, it's 9 o'clock. I have 87% of my move ring. I got to get that closed.
Wow. So, I'm normally sitting if I sit a lot other than when I work out. I'm on the I honestly work when I'm at home. I sit on the reclining couch because my back hurts if I sit in a chair like I am now. And then I'm in my car all the time, so I'm sitting. And then unless I'm working out. Although the one good thing about it, I changed my workout routine to less workout videos, more lifting and running on the treadmill since we got the treadmill. And I'm finally in basketball shape. Like literally, this is the last couple of weeks is the first time where I play basketball Tuesday and Friday morning where I feel like everybody else is getting more tired than me by the end. I'm like, oh, I'm finally actually in shape.
Nice.
Good for you guys.
What do you
I'm
do?
sure
Drinking alcohol and not working out.
Oh, you've been
I do work out every morning.
Yeah.
I get up at like 5 a.m. though, but that's probably because I drink wine sometimes and eat chocolate.
So if anybody wants to share about their workout routine, they can too. Since that's
balance. It's all about balance, Michelle.
I don't know. I still work out, but whatever. I work out at 7 and then walk the boxer.
Yep.
She's ready to walk by 7:30.
So if you walk Roxy, you probably almost do 45 minutes or 30 minutes inside, 30 minutes outside. You're almost all the way there.
30. I know.
There you go.
I could do a 30.
Could you give up drinking for 75 days, Michelle?
I could, but not in the circumstances I'm in coming into spring.
That's funny.
I just drink a variety of water. So we got the fruity, like sparkling waters. Then I got the vitamin waters. Then I got the bubbler waters. Then I have sometimes I get the the sparkling icy waters with the fruit flavor. Like I just mix in different kind of waters. That's what I
I
do.
mean, I get it, but I don't even like those. I like water. I drink tons of water. I probably drink water and wine. I don't really drink anything else.
Mhm.
So.
That's what I drink: water, wine, and coffee.
I
So
drink
now it's
coffee
just
too,
water
so-
and coffee.
So I never drink coffee, so I don't have that caffeine addiction. I've never drank in my life.
Oh,
I just don't like warm beverages. We weren't raised
Really?
drinking coffee. That's probably one thing. My parents didn't really drink coffee. Our parents. And by the way, happy birthday, Gail Karstensen.
Happy birthday, mommy!
She's
happy
probably,
birthday!
I'm watching.
Is she watching? You think she normally is?
So,
But taking
told her
calls
about
probably for her birthday.
Funny.
probably will.
I did forget this time. I already called her, so that's good.
Good job, Chuck. You forgot my birthday.
I did.
What?
Mhm.
Uh
I didn't talk to you at all on your birthday.
I don't think so. I think it was like maybe late in the day when we were talking
Weren't
about something
you out
else.
of town?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to bother you when you're out of town. I don't think I forgot about it.
Yeah.
oh.
It's scary.
Sure. Sure.
All right. Should we talk about a little bit of real estate here?
Yeah. Did anyone show houses in the snow yesterday?
I
I
had a
didn't get
listing
into it.
appointment where I started it and it wasn't snowing. When I left, it was snowing like pretty good. And when I drove, and of course I got a real drive Cadillac, it was slipping all over, slipping
Oh, I'm
worse than I have
sure.
all winter. I'm like, is it slippery? Have I forgot to drive? I don't think so. And there's somebody that must have, I think there was where I stopped, I had to get gas. Somebody must have rear-ended each other just down the road. There's a couple police officers like, okay, well, they forgot to drive for sure. But it just seemed extra slippery than it had been when it snowed earlier and I drove in the snow. But maybe it was just me.
It was. I feel like it was because it was kind of warm and then it froze and then you put a layer of snow over the ice. Like I take back roads to Big Lake and stuff like that, and I dropped the kids off at school and it was still kind of slick this morning. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's you.
Cool. All right.
This
So
time.
I'll go into this. So we'll do some real estate. So what's the number? This is from Keeping Current Matters. What's the number one financial benefit of home ownership? What do you think it is, Michelle or Stacy? Number one benefit, at least what I'm
What do
going to
you-
tell you about this article. What?
I
I
said
used to-
equity.
Well, that, and I used to say that I could write it off my taxes, the interest. So I was like, oh, whatever, if it's interest. Now I can't even do that. So that's when I first bought a house, what I thought was like so great, so that I could write the interest off on my taxes.
Is that because how they do the earned income tax credit, or what do you mean?
No, I can't. But yeah, equity, probably.
Yep, it is. So here's the deal. Roughly
Yay,
38%. Yep, points for each of you. Roughly 30% of all homes are mortgage free. Obviously, you could buy cash, but there's other people who've lived long enough and paid their mortgage down, or had paid it down over time and lived there. The average. So this is a big thing. We talked about 1 year ago and what's happened. The average equity gain of mortgage homes. This is the United States overall in the last year, 26,300. So in theory, for a lot of people, and especially somebody who already owned a home last year or bought it soon after, they increase their equity on average 26,000. And then the current average equity of mortgaged homes is greater than 200,000. That means there's people still have mortgages, but they still have a lot of equity. And you think of all the price points in different areas of the United States. So it's going to be different if you just bought a home and put zero down. But you potentially, and I look at it, one of the changes, if we talk about changes from last year, I never thought I was going to move last year. Like, hey, we're staying in this house. We're just, it's good payment, fits our family. And then we moved, obviously bought a lake home, like we said, and talked about before. But, I transfer the equity from that house to our new house, put in some, updates. And literally, I think I do have $200,000 in equity now in our new place, even that I didn't put down that much because of like the point number two, the equity gain over the year plus the improvements. So overall, they said 16.9% increase in total homeowner equity. So that's the number one reason to get in a home, because of the equity gain. And even a situation like COVID made the gain even probably greater, one of the greatest years in gains in equity. So what do you think about that, ladies?
I mean, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure it happened. Because I mean, pretty much offering 20,000 over every list price. So if you're saying
Oh.
26,000, I'm like, and the list price is probably up from what their home's worth anyway. So
Yeah. Well, I know that we could sell and have a decent amount of equity, and we've only been in our house 3 years.
you've been 3
Just-
years already.
Almost. It'll be 3 years, I think, in
Jeepers.
September. I know.
Just flies.
So, I mean, we wouldn't have anywhere to live if we sold, but no,
Don't say that.
That's not true.
Hey, this is
You're
why
a good
people don't have their
realtor.
homes on the market. Correct her, Michelle.
Because
That's why people don't
that's
have their
not
homes on the
true.
market.
You know how to find a house.
I
You're not
know.
a dummy.
I like our house. I like where we live, so that's kind of that. I mean, obviously, that's why we wouldn't sell, but
You
it
all
fits our
just
family
don't listen
perfectly.
to Stacy. She's not.
It fits our
talking.
family, but if the
Very
right
true.
thing, if I came across the right property, I think I could convince my husband to sell.
Find
Trust
that
me, I
lake
love-
house.
What?
Find that lake house.
Yes, or the house with a pool. Those are my things. A house with a pool, an office, and a pole barn.
Pool.
So, yep. So,
How much are
They're
those
out
going
there.
for now?
yep.
The
So I'm
pool
going-
houses I saw in Minnesota are like 600 about.
Mhm.
A lot
Yep.
of them come up. And that's if
They
you want
do.
your own pool anyway. And the
Yeah.
pole barn ones, well, what does this pole barn look like?
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember when I built my pole barn shed house, and I built it for about probably 180,000, and that was in 2001. And now I don't think you can build them for less than about
No.
400,000. So
mm-mm. Those are cool. I would be
Yeah.
open to one of those too.
Crazy.
It would be cool. I've seen a
Cost
few
to
of them.
build those now is nuts. It used to be
Yeah.
so cheap.
Yeah.
Well, you have typically, you have, especially if they're 2-story high, you have the high ceilings, big garage
Mhm.
doors. You got to insulate them. That's so many square
Schmidt.
footage, the concrete so much.
Yep.
And that's any house. The cost of building is so much higher. So that's anything. Just the cost of materials are so high. That's
Yep.
one of the biggest struggles in the market. So going back to the original introduction topic, let's kind of go round robin a little bit. What's maybe one, and we'll just go round robin and pick some other things that we haven't talked about. What is one change that you wouldn't have thought of a year ago that is now happening in real estate, or second tier to real estate, something real estate related that you just wouldn't even thought of a year ago, and now it's a lot different because of COVID? Do you have something, Michelle?
Well, it's weird because you would think in COVID that people would have no money to literally waive the appraisal contingency because nobody has jobs and we need stimulus. But I swear, like every day I see realtors post that people are waiving their appraisal contingency, or we're getting 20 offers and 5 of them are cash. So if nobody has any money and we're all like fear that we're all losing our jobs and all this stuff, then how is this happening? You can't tell me that the whole world is just like poverty and all this stuff, yet we're in like freaking Minnesota and that's happening. And that's happening in every state. I see so many people. I've got people moving into Minnesota. I got people moving out of Minnesota. Like, I didn't even know that really existed. If you would have said, Chuck, tell your buyer to waive the appraisal contingency out, and like, what are you talking about?
A year ago, we had never even done that or
And
thought
then
of that.
COVID happens and everyone's doing it. And I'm like, what? Like, that makes
Yep.
zero sense.
I mean, they didn't start doing it till when do you think this started? Was this
2 months
fall,
ago,
late
maybe?
summer?
2-3 months ago,
Yeah.
probably, when they start panicking.
Yeah, I think I've heard of here and there. It's kind of depending on, hey, this is one other way to get your buyer's offer accepted. If you have enough down, you can waive it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do we
Melissa's here.
get?
Melissa wants to get in the picture. Get behind me, honey. Show your face.
It's a teacher. Oh, she's on spring break. Hi,
You
Melissa.
got to go the other way. There you go.
Go Gophers.
Hi.
But like, it boggles my mind. Like a year ago, I saw in my memories, we were at that Top Golf thing. That was the last time we were like in a restaurant. I mean, you could go to Top Golf.
We felt bad. We felt very like, oh, we're at Top Golf, and they're still open. Remember that?
Yeah, I know, it's weird. And then like, but never. You would have told like no. Like what? No.
No, I remember when I first made videos, like right away after this all went down, and I was telling people like the market's not going to crash because there's realtors saying the market would crash.
Oh my God, you were so smart. You were making those videos.
But the one thing I was way off on, I said, well, maybe people aren't going to buy land or lake homes because of they're probably not going to have extra money. What's been the hottest and gone up the most? Lake homes and land. So that I would have never have thought of that.
You know, I think crazy. One really positive thing that has come out of COVID, I think, is that people are realizing what they need to value a little bit more in life, and they're valuing the time that you are spending more with your family, and they're valuing the time that they're spending at home. So we have a lake place, and we noticed last year, we've been going there for a number of years. It's been in my husband's family for a long time, but through the years, like last year, it was the busiest we've ever seen it up in that area and on the lake, because there were no activities, there were no Twins games, there were no state fairs or state things going on. People were spending time with their family. So, I mean, I think that is one really positive thing that's come out of it, is that everyone is realizing what actually matters in life. And so they are buying those land properties and those lake lots because they realize that they're missing out on so much, and they want to spend more time with family and have it be open to invite people up to and stuff. I mean, that was our thing. We're like, we're going to the cabin. Like, we need a change of pace. Like, we need to get out of here. Like, I can work from the cabin. We have internet. Like, the kids can school from the cabin if they need to. We just need a change of pace. So I think that's a positive thing.
Yeah, and I think a second-tier positive thing, like you said, you could school for obviously for a time, and then also a lot of people can work from home. I think it is positive that employers, it sounds like, are finding that people are almost more productive working from home than they are going to the office for whatever reason. I'm sure that's not
because
true
people don't stop and bug them. That's what I heard. Like, for people that are in the office, like, people would stop, have a conversation, like a coworker, have a conversation, then you try to work for like 1 second. Somebody else has a 20-minute conversation. So you're like literally getting nothing done.
I would agree with that. It's like stopping by the water cooler and having that conversation.
Yes.
You know, or the coffee room conversation. So, and it's cut down on traffic too. I mean, that's a plus for some people who need to drive in traffic that still need to go into the office. It doesn't take them as long, so that's beneficial too.
When I go like to Minneapolis and St. Paul, like it used to take me hours, and now it's like pretty simple. A little traffic around the like tunnel area, but also I kind of know like how to avoid it now. But yeah, I mean, it's way easier showing houses than it used to be. Although I remember when we try to go like up north, the whole summer it was like crazy. So I can only imagine now it's even going to be worse.
Well, they're doing a bunch of construction on 94 towards the Monticello St. Cloud area. So hopefully that'll be done and help with the flow of traffic. You know, they added a lane. So
yeah, I mean, it's just weird though. I do remember, Chuck, when you were like, it's not, you know, I remember there was realtors like, hold on, it's all going to foreclosure. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. And then you would post it all the time, like it'd be fine. And it's not only fine, it's like the biggest crap shoot ever right now. So
yeah. Which is a little tough because obviously affordability becomes even tougher. The interest rates kept it affordable. But here's the deal. More than ever, like I've been going through the Dave Ramsey ELP course to be one of his trusted real estate people, like when people go online and find him and want to work with somebody, and just some of those principles that when you dial into, if you actually followed like those kind of money principles, and maybe you don't know what I'm talking about if you haven't heard of Dave Ramsey, but check him out. You will be able to buy a house eventually if you follow those principles and do it that way. But we're so over marketed to, we spend money on a lot of throwaway stuff that are wants that we think are needs and probably are neither. But that, I mean, literally that's how people at this higher price point will have to, eventually get into the market is really follow sound financial principles, and then they'll be fine. Then they will have money, and probably the people who have money had followed those financial principles. Like, okay, well, I saved this money to enjoy it, so here we go. Let's buy some land. Let's buy a lake home. Let's upgrade our house for here. What's that?
You can't even get furniture at the furniture store.
Really?
I guess if you're always home, you just want new furniture. But you used to be able to just walk in there and they had all kind of stuff. Now it's like, I'll be here in 8 weeks. All right.
Wow.
It'll be a different season by then. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I don't know. Like, I am. I mean, we didn't even start these videos until right after COVID, right?
I think early April was the first time we did a video. And we did it every couple of weeks. We didn't know this kind of technology even existed. Then our brother Kurt shared that some other realtor did this. I'm like, oh, maybe we should. And then Kurt did it, and then copied him. Copy Kurt.
Yeah, we were always doing videos though of different kind of videos. Yeah, I haven't even really had to do a live on a listing because they sell in 0 days. So
I know.
It's like, oh, all right.
Yep.
Chuck's frozen.
No, I'm here.
No. Yep.
My phone rang for a little bit, and then cut it out.
Let's see, what else has changed in real estate? Well, we didn't know the interest rate would have been like 2.5%.
Yeah. That's nuts.
I remember last year at this time I refied, like literally probably this week, and I got 2.75 on my refi. And they're like, oh my God, do it now. It's never gonna get lower. And then it went down to like 2%.
I know.
Although
15-year, correct?
Yeah. Refis, you actually pay more than when you're buying. So refis are always a little higher. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but even then the refinance, because there was so much, it went up like a half a point if you refinance now. Now, during the year, it changed that. So you pay like a extra point. So, yeah. And, like I said earlier, going to closings have been different. Now, Minnesota, traditionally, buyer and seller would meet at the closing table the day of closing. Would some sellers pre-sign? Yes, but now it's almost always seller pre-signs a couple days in advance. Then we have the buyer closing the day of closing. I always have to remind the sellers, explain that, hey, you're going to be pre-signing a couple days early. You get the money when the buyer signed the actual official day of closing, because sometimes like, where's my money? It's 2 days. No, you get it when the money shows up, and hopefully it does. Only one time this year it hasn't.
Yeah.
Geez.
They usually make them pre-sign now, and I haven't been to a closing in over a year because we were like, you're not supposed to go. You're supposed to, maybe you go. You're not supposed to go. I'm like,
I go.
I see you at the walkthrough, and I can't go to your pre-sign. So why do I have to go and sit there and breathe on you when I just saw you 10 minutes ago? So there's no reason. There was never a reason for us to go to closing anyway. So there's definitely not now.
Yeah.
Stacy still goes, she said. Quit picking on her.
I still do sometimes.
I don't know. I just look at it as like we would go and then they would go and nothing was like finalized until a closing. Sometimes you have like, oh my gosh, we didn't clean the house. And now it's like, I think that's better that nobody can really go to closing or they're not supposed to or whatever it was, is because we always have everything finalized before closing now. Because you're like, can't go anyway. So it's got to be done before then.
Yeah.
You go.
I think it's good to send the clients off. So I'm not saying you shouldn't go to a closing. It's just, more of my people are sellers, so they're pre-signing, and that is different. The closing with the buyers and they're getting the keys, or you gave them the keys at closing, and Stacy's got one of those cool carvings. She sends them. I would go to closing if I was Stacy.
I guess it really, I guess I read my clients. And some of them are like, oh, you're not coming. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to come, and or like there were a few where right at the beginning of COVID where I was like, I can't come. And they were kind of bummed. I don't know if it was just because they like needed the extra support or whatnot. I don't know. So I try to go if I can. Sometimes, obviously, no, don't come. Or it doesn't work with schedule. And I just go to the walkthrough and walk through with them and then don't go to closings. But I guess I would say a majority of closings I've been going to. I've gotten yelled at a few times, but meh.
Yeah, I just don't go.
But what I'm saying, it changed from like realtors would almost always be at closing to now where we are more like lenders where sometimes they show up.
Yeah. See, someone
And lenders
posted
can make
that they
closing
like the realtor
last
there.
year because, well, yeah, it's good in case last minute questions come up. So
No
Yeah.
last minute questions. You have them done before closing. No, I'm just giving you a hard
Yeah.
time. I'm
I
just
know.
being very congruent. I said I wasn't going to go, so I'm not going to go for some people and not other people. And then they're like, how come you went to
Yeah.
that closing? My friend, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, just not going. I'm not coming. I'm here. Call me. Nobody calls me because it's all fine. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. You're not a bad realtor because you don't go. You're still great.
We like Chuck. Somebody's talking to you, Chuck, in the comments.
Oh,
there is. All right. That's awesome.
We like Chuck too.
I'll go to your closing, Sierra. Oh, now everybody else will be like Michelle said, why didn't they go to mine?
yeah. See, Chuck, now everyone's going to have hurt feelings. That's why I just go to all of them.
That's why I just don't go to any.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
One
they
thing
go
I
faster without us there. I think
They
nobody's
probably
like
do.
talking, so there's like bang bang. We're paying attention. We don't have to worry about
Mhm.
who's here yapping. I still think they sign faster without nobody else. Because it used to be sellers yapping, agents yapping, lenders yapping. Everyone's like yapping, and nobody can pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll
what
see.
else you got? Is there
I was gonna say
anything else
one thing
that's
I
different?
kind of miss with COVID happening is like the handshakes like that you give to people, and some people are like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I don't have to touch somebody's hand. I hated that pre-COVID. I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of a personal thing for myself, but I don't know.
I'm the opposite of you. It's not that I don't like handshakes. I would have to like I sanitize her like 20 times now.
Oh,
But I would always have the sanitizer because I always feel like I don't know where people's hands are. So I just like, we know we don't have to shake hands. I do miss the hugs though. I love the random hugs from people. Like some people I'd actually think like, do they think I'm doing a good job? We get to closing and they're like crying and hugging me. And I'm like, oh, well.
So you'll
I guess
take
I
a
did
random hug, but you won't touch somebody's hand?
Well,
It's kind of weird.
like your hands are just like everywhere. Your body's just your body.
I suppose. I think that's funny.
How many hands have you shakes in the last year in a week or so?
I've shaken maybe one hand the whole time because somebody wanted to shake my hand.
I'm probably more than 10, less than 20.
I'm probably, I don't know.
I did an elbow bump on Friday. Somebody did elbow bump me. Like, boom.
I wait and see if they
I like wave. Like
if they reach their
Really?
hand, if they extend their hand, I take it.
Well,
So-
a few times that's been there just like, I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah,
well, I'm not going to go like,
I
oh my God, you're going to give me the COVID. I
remember
shake.
last year in April, somebody tried to hug me. And I was like, okay, yeah, like I'll hug you. And she's like, no, I just want to hug you. And I was like, okay. And then after that, like, I don't think anyone hugged me since then. So.
Aw.
No more hug.
There's some air hugs coming across.
Okay. Air hugs. I do miss the hugs. I remember hugs. I just like the randomness of it. You know,
Michelle
it's like,
needs a hug.
who's these like these people I've been helping and know for like a month? They're just like so happy. They're just hugging me.
Mm-hmm. That is a good feeling. I would agree.
Yeah. Because we don't always know if we're doing a good job or not. Like we think we're doing the best we can with what we got, but like some people you think, I don't know, they don't talk very much. Like, you know, I don't know. And then they hug you and you're like, okay, I gotta do a good job. That's good enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions, a lot of
hugs.
stress with the moving. So
Yeah. There can be.
ups and downs.
Yes.
Hey, we should talk about my video I did yesterday on empathy. I think that's a really good thing to think about, though.
I like
Michelle,
that one.
I didn't watch
Recap what you said on the video. I did watch it.
So basically, my videos have been on just like probably feelings. I don't know what those things are called, but like emotions or whatever.
I don't know what they're called. Maybe that shows that you need a hug. She doesn't even know what emotions and feelings are.
Anyways, but I was talking about it like, okay, so you list your house for like 200. You get offers, then you take a 230 offer. You know, it's probably not going to price for 230. You already listed your house for 200, which is probably more than you should be getting anyway. So if you get anything between 200 and 230, I was talking about how buyers and sellers have to like learn to be empathetic about that process, because the seller's going to be like crabby and think they deserve $290,000 for their 200 house just because they're getting offers for it. That doesn't mean that's what they should get. And I just think they should be happy getting way more than what they got anyways. Once it appraises, most of the time the appraisal is decent. But then also like the buyers get all like, oh, I'm just gonna, my realtor tells me to offer like 250 and we just hope it doesn't appraise, right? No, you should be congruent in what you offered. You don't have the money to make that offer. If it doesn't appraise, you shouldn't make the offer. Period. Because if you're accepting it with that, maybe be my new things, congruency. You should be congruent in what you say. I don't like the realtors that run around saying, well, I'll just offer this and hope it doesn't appraise and hope they take it, because that's not like actually having empathy for the seller either, because the seller expects something, right?
There's probably had other people close to the offer that probably could pull it off. They say they took a 230, but they had a 225. The 225 could have pulled it off. The 230 has whatever, you explained in your video yesterday. See Michelle's video on her personal page, but I like this conversation.
But it's also like having a realtor that has empathy. If you just have like some crabby realtor that thinks they know what they're talking about, maybe they do, maybe they've been around forever, whatever, like Chuck. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm saying if you have
I've been around forever.
I was gonna say, is he crabby or been around forever?
I'm just saying if you have a realtor that explains to you about like this is how they're gonna feel, because we know real estate's if it's stress, it's all about feelings, right? The ups and downs, the roller coaster. So how are they gonna feel if you make this offer and you can't come to closing? Now we want to sell houses, obviously, but if we prepare them before it happens, then they're not going to wake up when they call and say the appraisal is low and be like, oh my God, because we already told them, like, here it is. Like, seller, the buyer's appraiser is low. We did the best we could. We thought we took the one that would be the best, period. We can probably meet halfway in between the rest of the appraisal, right? If we have to, because somehow they don't have money. But buyer needs to be able to have those funds. And I haven't worked with a lot of down payment assistance buyers lately. Maybe you guys have, but are they even getting accepted?
Probably not.
I'm trying to think. I had one that closed in January. So it was pre the new year that it was accepted with the down payment assistance.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I was talking about on that video, but it's so true. Like you can just get through this stuff better if you have a realtor that explains to you up front.
Honestly, I mean, whether it's a realtor, the buyer, or seller, you can get through it better. You're right about your video. If you had some awareness, had some empathy, thought about, took not the 10,000 foot view of right here, here's my transaction, here's my situation, not even the 30,000 foot view, just like a higher view of, okay, how should this actually play out based on what we thought a few months ago, what we thought going in the listing, what we actually got, and and what's happening on an appraisal. And that's just, sometimes people just get so worked up and so offended, and I'm sure it's a negotiation tactic too. But at some point, I think you're right, Michelle. You made the offer, and that's what you said you're willing to pay for it. If it doesn't appraise, you should have the money. And if you don't have the money, then
we shouldn't be out.
Well, you shouldn't be offering, or you got to deal with the consequences, or have a backup plan, or you just wasted 30 days for somebody, or 3 weeks for somebody, and now they got to go back, and they'll probably still get a pretty decent amount. But also then when there's a seller and a realtor representing the seller, those are kind of conversations we have to have every time we have those several offers and above. Like, we basically have to sift through them and like, who do we think will close? So that's something that, we deal with all the time. Obviously we had one of our team members sell and close this year, and that was part of the deal. Like, there were several offers above listing price, not necessarily an appraisal. And there was just escalation clauses, and we basically counter offered one that was close to other escalation clauses, like other ones were higher, but said, hey, if you do this, we'd like the other terms of your offer. We're going to go with it. So that's all stuff you can do.
Yeah. I noticed something about us though. I don't think we whine. I see a lot of whiny realtors lately online. Like,
I think
whining.
if we whine, we just whine to each other and not make it public because it's no one else's problem.
Maybe. I feel like we don't whine.
I don't know.
I mean, we talk about situations we have in the business and we're working through, and there's a little bit of why is this happening, what's going on here, but also, I think we mature over the years of doing this, and it doesn't pay to put that energy that a lot of people do online, whether it's in real estate or politics or whatever, like put that energy out there. And I can tell you, are we perfect? No, but are we working on this, trying to get better, trying to be better human beings, better realtors, better in our family? That's what we're all doing. So part of that is why feed into the negative energy. It's like, on to the next one. Yeah, we're making a lot of offers that aren't going through. We're obviously getting some through. Obviously, most of the listings are selling fast. We've had a variety of area listings, and some of them still take a little while, just based on what they are, where they are, and those kind of things.
I mean, it's all about putting positive energy out there. If you continue to be negative and put negative energy out there, the negativeness is going to come back and you're not going to sell stuff. So if you put positive energy out there and it's positive, then good things will come back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
What is the so now the state's opening up more. Is that going to change anything?
Well, I think we're supply and demand is still a ways off. So I think it could change a little bit of what Stacy mentioned, where some families now will have spring baseball, spring basketball, those sports they didn't have last year, and now maybe there'll be a little less time on the lake. But hopefully also these sports things, like maybe calm down a little bit, where you don't have to play year round, just to be okay and adequate. But it's almost gotten out of hand. That's for probably a different show, different tackle. So, but it's almost too much. You know how hard you got to prepare to be a top athlete now? I mean, growing up, as a kid in a small town, we played and we did all right and we had fun. But now you have to practice like you're a professional athlete just to be get to college.
AJ did practice all COVID with professional athletes, no joking. And still, COVID happened, and then where does it get him? So you got to think about that. So you spent all that time with your kids, except during COVID, running them to every sport, round and round, missing all this stuff. And then they do what? They just graduate high school? I mean, I don't know. I know I definitely play with my dog more because I feel bad for her, because I'm like, I'm going to play with my dog. She's only got less lives than we have left. Lives. But, I don't know. Just it changed a lot, like a year from right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing now. There's no chance I thought I'd be doing a year ago. Like, no chance.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting.
Yeah. It's all very interesting, and I'll be curious to see how it all kind of plays out in the next 6 months or so.
Yeah, I do think it'll be an interesting 6 months. Like what's ahead will be interesting. Will supply and demand somewhat balance out? Every once in a while, I'll see somebody like posting a video about their millions of foreclosures coming, which I'm sure there are some that would actually help balance the inventory. Very few have gone through sheriff's sale lately in Minnesota, so there's several months off from many foreclosures here, and probably not enough to tip the balance. But when we're starting to see a few more listings. Aren't you starting to see more listings in the searches? But aren't you also then seeing 3 days later, like most of them have offers on?
Yeah.
So that may.
I wrote an offer last week that didn't have any offers on it. 4 days on the market, and I got it.
Wow.
And that was in the city. So
it is possible. Yep.
Nice.
There is hope at the end of the tunnel. I was like, what is this? This is like a higher power thing, because there's no reason this house doesn't have offers.
That's awesome, though.
But I think part of it is there's the other 3 houses that come out and somebody searched in that area, or 10 or 20 or whatever it is, and maybe their listing price is a little more seductive. So then 50 people offer on that one. It's like, well, you're not going to get it. Why not just go for the one that maybe only a couple people are offering on?
Yep.
You got a chance. So those are all strategies to pay attention to and be aware of. So anyway, one of the reasons for doing the show, obviously, is to keep it going. Like, Stacy talked about doing the 75 hard, 45 minutes inside and outside workout. Like, just doing the show, sometimes we have guests. Sometimes here's our topic, is if we don't do it, pretty soon we won't do it. So we have to get out there and keep it going. So that's one of the reasons for doing this. You're always welcome to questions or comments. And ask us any real estate questions. Obviously, if you don't want to post it online, you can always message us privately and we can help you out. So it is ramping up. I see more people thinking about listing. Like I said, more listings coming out. So I think there is some hope for buyers. Interest rates are a tiny bit higher, but not affecting too much. Anything we should have talked about to mention of note that's either new or just a reminder that you have on your mind, Stacy or Michelle?
No. Yeah, interest rates are probably going to go another 0.25%. It looks like from what I read yesterday.
By the end of the year or soon?
Soon. But that's still in the 3s. So
yeah, it's still good.
What else? Well, snow should be gone. So that's
this weekend. It's supposed to be 60 and actually feel like 60 and not have like a crisp breeze. That's what Ken Barlow said this morning. So. We'll see.
The snow, I don't know. I mean, at least we know it's going to be gone now. But I was like yesterday, I even called Chuck, like, can you do this showing for me? There's no way I'm driving through this. And that's when he's like, I've never seen it this bad this year. And I was like, yeah, I'm not driving in this. I don't care.
Yeah. It's March in Minnesota. We have to expect at least another snowstorm before spring comes. Sorry, guys.
But the light's at the end of the tunnel. And my birthday's at the end of the month.
And
the end of this month?
It's my favorite month of the year. It's March Madness, my birthday, and it starts to get nicer.
Nice.
St. Patrick's Day tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
Hey, last year there was not St. Patrick's Day restaurants because he closed it. The governor closed it the day before. So people will be like green beer drinking everywhere tomorrow. Stay off the road.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt.
Stacy and I will. Michelle will.
Yeah, we'll be good. I'll have some green water.
They don't make green vitamin water. They probably should come up with that.
Oh, they don't. I mean, why do you need the extra artificial flavors and colors in your water anyways, or beer?
I just think they do taste a little different. If you taste them, they taste a little different. I like the light red and the dark red on the vitamin water. The orange, there's like a fruity one. I don't like it all. It's bad. So I tried it once. I'm like, oh my God, this is a bad one. All right.
To the kids.
I don't think they like it. All right. So we'll wrap it up. We're just going to talking, which is totally fine. We're having a conversation, and we'll have another show in 2-3 weeks. I'm sure Michelle will hound us for one. Maybe she won't. Maybe she'll forget about us. So we'll find out. All right. Thanks for watching. You guys watch the replay if you missed it on our Facebook feeds or on the Real Life Impact Show. You can watch our past, you can listen to our past episodes there. So we are signing off for Stacy, Michelle, and Chuck, Carstensen team, Remax Results. Have a wonderful rest of your day and rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon.